Let's make history. Check out part 1 to my video, my thoughts on the Trump rally at Madison Square Garden, where some disparaging remarks were made towards Puerto Ricans by a comedian who helped to open up the rally. Now, Trump got a lot of flack for this. Many Puerto Ricans, including myself, were furious behind this. But as I said in the video, don't act off emotion. Always remember, you have to be reasonable. Nothing wrong with emotion. Emotion is great, it's necessary, but it's not wise to make decisions based on it. So, since I made the first video, more information has come out, and I've dug up more information that makes more sense of this whole situation. The joke that was in bad taste by comedian Tony Hinchcliffe. So, one thing we have to remember first is that Puerto Rico has suffered like forever from graft, which basically means political corruption. We know that the island suffers from intense hurricanes on a regular basis. But when you have such a high level of government corruption, the other agencies suffer. And one of those agencies that suffer was energy. Those of my Puerto Ricans know about Luma, which is in control of the energy on the island. There's been widespread blackouts. They have not been held accountable. And that's just one of the many problems the island faces. Another one is waste management. There's a weak waste management sector of the island. And because of that, the landfills are filled beyond capacity. There's virtually no recycling systems on the island. In addition to that, Puerto Rico, like many other countries and islands, is an island that consumes a lot of one-off products like single sodas, hamburger wrappings, and those end up becoming litter. To add to that, one of Puerto Rico's main industries is tourism. So you have tourists that come, millions per year, and add on to the waste. So this is where the joke comes from, why he said there's a pile of garbage floating in the Atlantic and it's Puerto Rico. He was not talking about the Puerto Rican people. He was referring to this problem because environmentalists now have become concerned and have voiced their concern to Puerto Rico that with so much pollution and waste and the overflowing of the landfills, that not only pollutes the water, affecting wildlife, but it also pollutes the actual land, the soil, and that can create illnesses down the line. So this is a serious problem that many are aware of. But if you don't know, see, I think a lot of my people on the island were already aware of this. That's why a lot of them still support Trump. Many of us New Yorkers didn't, and I'm pretty good with keeping up with the politics of Puerto Rico. Not as good as I should be, but I do follow it. And I wasn't aware of it at first either until I did some digging.
You've created a broad coalition. I believe the Republican Party is now the party of hardworking men and women, and the Democratic Party is the party of Hollywood, New York, and D.C., coastal elites, as I call them. If that. So you have built a very broad, diverse coalition, including Hispanic Americans, African Americans. And by the way, I'll put the numbers up on the screen, and we can show people where they were in those first 3 years of your presidency. The best growth rate in 60 years, and the people that did best were minorities in America.
That's right. They did the best.
And you have built this coalition. Anyway, so you have this big event at Madison Square Garden. It went on for hours. I don't even know if you were there for the whole thing. I don't know what time you got there. I was told and made aware that you had no idea about this comedian who made comments.
I have no idea who he is. Somebody said there was a comedian that joked about Puerto Rico or something, and I have no idea who he is. Never saw him, never heard of him, and don't want to hear of him. But I have no idea. They put a comedian in, which everybody does. You throw comedians in. You don't vet them and go crazy. It's nobody's fault. But somebody said some bad things. Now, what they've done is taken somebody that has nothing to do with the party, has nothing to do with us, said something, and they try and make a big deal. But I don't know who it is. I don't even know who put him in. I've done more for Puerto Rico than any president, I think, that's ever been president. When the hurricanes came, I rebuilt. I helped them rebuild their electrical system. I helped them rebuild dams and everything else. That place was hit by so many hurricanes. It's almost like Hurricane Alley. I've never seen anything like it. And Puerto Ricans love me because I was the president that stood up for them more than any president. I've had great relationships with Hispanics, but I've had really great relationship with Puerto Rico and people from Puerto Rico. They love. Every time I go outside, I see somebody from Puerto Rico. They give me a hug and a kiss. I gave them more money. I sent a hospital ship when they had one of the big hurricanes. They had no hospitals. The hospitals were wiped out. I sent the big Mercy ship. I sent it to Puerto Rico fully equipped. It took care of things. I mean, they love me in Puerto Rico, and I love them. I was there handing out food. I got in trouble for that, too, because we were having fun. We had a lot of people, and I was throwing paper towels to the back. They were all having fun. And the fake news came, oh, that was very disrespectful to be throwing towels. No, I have unbelievable good relationship with Puerto Rico and the Puerto Rican people. Who this comedian was, I have no idea.
I've already had a few people tag me in the videos of the comedian today at the Trump rally insulting Puerto Rico, or what they felt like was an insult. As a Puerto Rican American myself, my dad grew up in Puerto Rico. I was not insulted by this in the very least. Number one, this guy is a comedian. Number two, the clip that they don't show you from right before that is him joking with Latino Americans about a bunch of stuff in our culture. That this guy's not talking about Puerto Rican people. He's talking about the island of Puerto Rico, which has a massive pollution problem. Tons of trash washes up on this beach every single day, and it looks like a landfill. And there's been a huge problem there since the last hurricane.
Now you know where the joke came from. Now you know it wasn't as bad-natured as you think. So go out and vote for Trump. Leave your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to hit that like button. Subscribe to Will Flores TV on YouTube. Follow me on Instagram, TikTok, and X.